Welcome to my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds of sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey there. Welcome back, my friends. It's good to see you on this Monday night, June 24th, 2024, for our 165th live stream. Almost 165 in a row if you think about the very few that we have canceled. Pretty impressive. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. If it's your first time here, know that we talk about the channel, basically. Talk about tractors and outdoor projects, life in the country, that kind of thing. So that's what we do here every Monday night for 1 hour, 7 p.m. Eastern Time until 8 p.m. also Eastern Time. But if it is your first time here, please say hi in the live chat so we can welcome you appropriately and let you know that we're all really glad that you're here. By the way, let me know too, if you're new to the channel, how you found the channel. Was it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of the above, all the above? At any rate, those are my opening remarks. So, again, thanks for being here. Let's see who was the first to comment tonight. You know, you can jump on the live stream before it even starts, like Kent here did. This comment, according to my records here, this comment came in at 6:24 p.m., which was 36 minutes before we went live even. So Kent was here a half an hour before. So welcome, Kent. You're the first one to comment. You don't win anything for that, but bragging rights, I guess. And of course, Chev Head Ed. It's good to see you as well. Yeah, finally under 99% humidity. I was definitely going to talk about that because, the thumbnails talked about we're in a heat wave. We have been in a heat wave now for, I think, a couple weeks. It's going to continue. Well, as far as the forecast goes, it's a 10-day forecast, and it's looking pretty hot. Today was actually a relief because we finally saw some rain last night, and it was a nice soaking rain. It didn't last, maybe more than an hour, but it was really nice, and you could just feel everything kind of breathing again. It just wasn't as crunchy. The grass just felt like it had gotten some moisture back into it and was alive again. It was really rough. Now, of course, how long is that going to last? I don't know, but it sure was nice, and it did cool things off a bit as well. I spent the day in the woods. I just came back from the woods within the hour. I went out there this morning and I cut a tree down and cut it up and actually split up a good amount of it. So I was doing some splitting and tree felling and those kind of things because I got to get this stuff. I got to get wood seasoning so that, at least it'll be good by the end of the season. But that's what we've been doing. I'll look at these comments here. So, all right, a lot of talk about Kent got a new chainsaw. Is that what I'm seeing here? That's what I think I'm seeing. If so, congratulations on that. Yeah, I really am getting closer and closer to needing a new chainsaw. I was using the Husqvarna. What I have is the 455 Rancher. I like the saw. It runs well. Doesn't have the best power, but then again, you have that power to weight ratio, and I really don't want a heavier saw or a bigger saw because the thing is kind of heavy. I know when Gord was on the live, not the live, well, he wasn't when he was on the live chat, not the live stream. It was great talking to Gord last week. But in the live chat, he had mentioned the MS 261 and said it's a good weighted saw, and you can use it all day long. Anyway, at some point, I'm probably going to need to upgrade this saw. I think my biggest fault is that I'm not good at sharpening chains. I've got that steel sharpener that's like the all-in-one device, and that's sort of like, when you get a new chain for your chainsaw, it cuts beautifully. It's like, oh, this is amazing. And then it starts to get a little bit dull. And then I had that sharpener by Steel, and when that was new, it was like, oh, this is amazing. It sharpens the chain great. And then that got dull. So I don't know. I started to use it a little bit today and thought feels like it's just riding over the teeth. It's not really, you feel like it's not really taking anything off. So I know my chain's dull. You'll see it on the video that it bogs down the chainsaw. It's dull. I bought some new chains on Amazon that had good reviews, and again, they seemed like hard material. They cut great. They were inexpensive, and it's like you just can't beat a new factory chain. But you can't be changing the chains every so often, right? Yeah. So anyway, it is indeed hot. And I was talking to some friends last night, and I was saying how we're such a fickle bunch, us human beings. I mean, really, we spend the whole winter heating up our homes. Trying with the wood stove, I spent all winter trying to bring up the humidity in the house, because with the wood stove, it takes all the humidity out. So we're fighting that. We've got pots of water on the top of the stove, trying to get some humidity into the air. What do we have? A couple of weeks with no heat and no air conditioning, and then we jump right into air conditioning, and we're trying to remove the humidity from the air and cool the air. Our cars are too hot or too cold, and it's just funny that we need to be within that range. I have a theory, by the way, non-scientific theory, but people are living longer. Like back in the pioneer times, to live to be 35, I think, was a big deal. I don't know what the average lifespan was, but they were getting married when they were just teenagers, and I think 35 was something tells me that was average. Either way, it wasn't 90 like you're seeing people live to today, 90, 95, 100. Well, my theory is that we're living in these climate controlled conditions that people didn't have way back when. And I think the fact that we're in a more comfortable environment, we're not taxing our body as much. Our heart's not working as hard. Our lungs aren't working as hard. Our homes have filtration systems in the HVAC units, the heating and the air conditioning. So you kind of have some filtered air. So I think that because we're in a more controlled environment, I think that's why people are living longer today. We're eating like garbage. We eat terrible food. That apparently doesn't seem to be hurting anything. But I don't know. Did people eat better way back when? It seems like they would have. They would have had to eat things naturally. Yeah, I don't know. And of course, modern medicine is keeping us alive a lot longer. No doubt about that. People are getting sick, and we actually have medicines that treat them, which is amazing. But I'm just thinking of the average person, or a person who may not need much medical attention, but they're still living a long life. And anyway, that's my theory, that I think it's because we live in a more climate controlled environment, even compared to the 40s, 50s, and 60s. All of our vehicles have air conditioning now, and I think we're just not working our bodies as hard. Even office buildings didn't have, I guess, air conditioning too well. And of course, everybody smoked back then too, right? I mean, secondhand smoke, and you watch these old shows and people are just smoking in the hospital, it's crazy. It's where my mom learned to smoke. She was a nurse, and she took up smoking when she went to nursing school and became a nurse, of all things. Crazy, right? And then she spent her life trying to quit smoking, which she did. And then she died anyway. So not from that. Colon cancer, which may have been a result of smoking. That could be a whole nother topic, couldn't it? It could. Hey, Brutal Bob. Kevin, how are you? Who's your handyman? And Tom is a new name here. Thank you, Tom. I thought that was a relatively new name. Tom Leeper is relatively new to the channel, but I enjoy it all. Well, thank you, Tom. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Tom, do you watch? I see you're commenting from Facebook. Are you a Facebook follower more so than YouTube? I mean, the primary content on the channel is YouTube, but I have grown quite a bit on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but primarily Facebook and YouTube. But the Facebook page is actually growing quite a bit. And I find that there's an audience that really only follows on Facebook. So if that's you, Tom, thanks. Thanks for being there. Yeah, I had a couple videos that I don't want to say they went viral, but like on TikTok, I shared. Oh, here we go. The short video I shared of the snake. That was a YouTube short. I shared that on all platforms, and that was just a 14-second Ring doorbell video. And if you hadn't seen it, it's just me walking up to the back door, and this big black snake crosses across the back porch right by the door. And I just happened to see it as I was walking up. But I mean, he was booking. So anyway, I posted that clip and I titled it, "Did you see the snake?" And of course, a lot of people interacted. A lot of people saying, "I didn't see the snake. Where's the snake?" Other people saying, "Yeah, I saw the snake on the first try or first view. I watched the video 10 times and I saw the snake." Point is, what I'm getting at, what I'm trying to say here is that video on YouTube now has 2 million views, and then it stopped. You know, that the videos always do that for some reason. They'll climb and climb and climb, and then they'll peak. And a lot of videos, they'll climb to 1,000 views and then they'll peak. And this video climbed to, it took a long time to get from 1.9 million to 2 million, got to 2 million, and then it peaked. So it's still getting some views, but not like it was. That video on TikTok got a couple hundred views. That video on Facebook and Instagram got a couple hundred views or so, but it blew up on YouTube. Blew up, in my world, that's blowing up. And then I posted another video a couple weeks later, another short. People love them, they hate them, these shorts, but I don't know. I find myself getting sucked into these short videos, whether it be TikTok or Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts. They're all kind of the same thing. But I hooked a sprinkler up to the hydrant outside, the hose hydrant, and I hooked it up directly without a hose. So it's basically a vertical sprinkler instead of, is that vertical? What? Yeah, I guess it's vertical instead of horizontal. So it's spraying, right and left instead of this way. And I did it just kind of as a joke, and I put that on there, and I said, my wife married a genius. And a lot of people liked it. They're like, that is genius. It's not that. It's really just funny is all I was trying to be. My point of that is now that video on YouTube got just a few hundred views. Now that one on TikTok is like close to 2 million. So who knows what works and what doesn't work. And then the other day, I posted a short video. This one was an actual helpful video, not just entertainment or silliness. This was when I did the plumbing in the barn and I ran the faucet to the outside of the barn, and I left a what I'm calling a service loop in there. Electricians sometimes leave a service loop so you can pull your spectacle out of the wall and have extra wire in there. So this was kind of a service loop for plumbing. The PEX plumbing, I left a length in the wall so that you can pull the outside spigot out if you ever have to replace it, which was pretty good. People did appreciate that tip. Now that one, for some reason, on Instagram has gone wild. And again, not millions, not a million views, not even, but Instagram, I don't usually get a whole lot of traffic. That one, for some reason, took off on Instagram. So the point is, you just never know. And I guess I was asking where folks find the channel, and wherever you find the channel, thanks for being here. I do appreciate that very much. And the channel is kind of growing across all platforms, and it's just fun. I those of us who create videos, create content, we do it, number one, because we like it. It fills sort of a passion inside of us that we want to either shoot video or edit video whatever it is, there's something. It's sort of like when you have a hobby and people are like, "Why do you play golf?" I just like it. I just really like golf. And people might say, "Why do you bowl?" I just like bowling. Um, but if you have any hobbies, it might be woodworking, any of that. There's probably a part of you that would like to grow that hobby into something bigger. Like you might be a woodworker and think, "Man, I wish I could do this full time. I wish I could create an income from my woodworking hobby." And you probably can. It takes a lot of work, but those of us who are on this end of the camera, we do it because we like to create and share. It's just, I can't explain it. We all have gifts and talents and desires and passions and for things that we do. This is what I do. This is what a lot of people do, and you know, uh, we want to see it grow primarily because um, I have to make a living from this. I mean, I'm at that point where you're committed to putting a lot of hours into this, and even though you love it, you gotta pay the bills. So anyway, that's why I like to see the channel grow, because I would like to I'd like to pay my bills. That's all I want to do is pay my bills, and that's what the bill collectors would like too. We just want you to pay your bills. That's all we're asking. Just pay them. Anyway, Daniel, how's the Jeep? Thank you, Daniel. Those videos did not do very well on the channel because it's not. I guess it's a little bit out of my niche. The tractor videos do great. That's why people tune into the channel. I did the little Jeep content, which was fun. A lot of you watched it and commented, and I appreciate that. But it still didn't. The algorithm didn't pick it up. The Jeep though is really great. We drive it all the time. The air conditioning does not work, and I've not tried to do anything with it. I would like to have the air conditioning working because I like air conditioning. I did try to jump out the pressure switch, and the compressor did not come on. So I didn't take it any further, though. I'd like to, first of all, make sure there's power at the pressure switch, right? That's what I have to do. I can't just say the compressor doesn't work because I don't know that it's getting power from that. So I need to do some more investigating with that. I'm guessing maybe the compressor is no good. I did check the pressure just by pressing down on the little filler port, whatever you call that thing. It's like a tire pressure thing, just to see if anything came out, and it just barely hissed. It was just like it was empty. So the thing basically is empty. So maybe it has a leak. Maybe the compressor may be bad. Maybe that had a leak. That'd be probably the best case scenario because it'd be easy to change the compressor and then get the system vacuumed and charged up. Anyway, it would be nice to have. Point is, it'd be nice to have air conditioning. It's only got the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, so it is, as they say, barely adequate now. But it moves. It gets there. But I would like, if I had the air conditioner, I would drive it even more. Lately, we've not been driving it too much because it's crazy hot. But it runs really well. The one thing it needs is transmission cooling lines because they're rusted out and they're actually leaking. So I have to add transmission fluid every now and again. But they are unavailable. For whatever reason, Mopar doesn't make them anymore. There are not aftermarket transmission lines available. I guess I could go to a shop and see if they can bend custom-made lines. I did buy, there's two lines. I guess it's a pressure line and a return line. I don't know if pressure is the right word, but anyway, I was able to buy the return line. I have the return line. It's a metal line with a rubber hose at the end. I've got the return line. The other one is unavailable. In fact, my neighbor did some research for me, and he found a website, had the Mopar part. He's like, here it is. I'm like, amazing. So I ordered it. It was expensive. It was like $100 for this line, but I ordered it anyway because it was the only place I could find it. I was so happy. And then like 3 days later, I get an email saying your order has been canceled because this item is no longer available. Anyway, it needs transmission lines because they leak. I put front brakes on it, rotors. I didn't record any of this. Rotors, pads, and calipers. So the front brakes are great now. Didn't even look at the back brakes. But Anyway, back to other questions. I see Chris has a new chainsaw in the equipment pipeline. Chris, we'll have to talk. We'll have to compare notes. Tell me what you're getting. We kind of, unbeknownst to each other, Chris and I ordered the Woodland Mills stump grinder. And it just so happened that we were like 2 weeks apart from each other. And unbeknownst to the other, we ordered the Woodland Mills stump grinder. I've used mine quite a bit. Chris, I just watched your video today that you did at the Overlook there. And I have to tell you, Chris, I got to tell you, listen, Chris, in a sick kind of way, I really enjoyed watching you struggle with that PTO. It made me feel so good. Like, I know I'm not alone now. We are one. We are one. And I could sense your frustration because I've been there. I've been there. I'm not one to use foul language. It's just not really in my vocabulary. Never have. Just not comfortable swearing. I don't have anything against it. I just don't. Just choose not to do it. But man, some of those words come out. I could tell you when Chris was bleeping the video today, and I knew exactly what he was saying because I get so mad trying to hook those things up. They make those PTO adapters that are supposed to be like a quick connect. I've never used one, and I'm not going to. Well, I am going to comment on it because I'm only going to comment on what I think. I look at these things and they line up and then they lock into place. Like it's a quick little snap lock. And I think that is great. What I think the problem is though, is that you still have to line up, even they're bigger areas to line up instead of the spline. You still have to line them up. And that's oftentimes is the challenge, is lining that up. So I don't know. I don't know how they work or not. I know it's an expensive investment because you need to have, you're basically changing, you're putting one end on the tractor and then multiple ends on the equipment. I don't know. Curious. Maybe they work pretty well. But anyway, Chris, that was, in a sick way, that was fun to watch. You understand, I'm sure. Yeah, Jerry has not had luck with chain sharpening. It's hard. I think I've heard a lot of people say that you just can't duplicate a brand new factory chain. Oh, Chris, thank you. It's a spoiler alert. That's the saw, MS261. Now, aren't there different ones? Isn't there a 261? There's a 261C, and then there's another 261. I was actually going to ask Gord about this last week, but we ran out of time. I'm confused by what to get. I suppose I could ask the dealer. I mean, that's what they're there for, right? But anyway, let's have that conversation, Chris. Let me know what you're a smart guy, Chris, and I appreciate the research that you do. So I just copy off people. That's all I do. And Kent says the files are replaceable. Yeah, that's true. I know they come apart. Okay, thank you, Bob. Get new files for it. Right. Jack, we're all fickle, man. We're all fickle. Do you have air conditioning in your house, Jack? Do you have air conditioning in your car? If you do, then you're fickle. You're a fickle bunch. All right, so let's move down the line here to comments. And that's kind of all we're doing tonight is comments. So if you do, let me do this because we do have some new viewers here, and I didn't mention this earlier, which I usually do during my my opening monologue here, is that if you do have a question for me or a question in general that you think the live chat folks could answer for you, and by far they will probably answer it better than I will. But anyway, if you have a question in the live chat, post your question with this format: the word question, and then followed by your question. And the simple reason is it stands out. So let's do that. If you have questions, just post it in the live chat and I'll answer them, or I will turn to the good folks out here in the live chat world to answer them for you. Eddie Rollins only follows on Facebook. We're jumping all over the place because I had this question earlier about whether folks watch on multiple platforms or only one. But anyway, Eddie, yes, I see you on there commenting, and I appreciate it. So you are a Facebook follower. Cajun Aggie. We had a ceiling fan and a sheer drapes before AC. We somehow survived. Yeah, I'll tell you, as a kid, we did not have air conditioning in our house. And I even remember way back then being terribly uncomfortable. Like if you got a fan, you were lucky, but just awful with the sheet sticking to you. We actually lost power last night for a couple of hours. And luckily it wasn't too bad, but the power came back on before midnight. And I was so thankful, like, oh, the air conditioner came back on. We don't have air conditioning in the house yet, by the way. We just have a window unit in the bedroom. We've got a portable unit on the first floor, which barely works. I mean, right now, do I have a thermometer in here? I don't know. I had one. Oh, it's right next to me. Right now, in this room that I'm sitting in, it is 81 degrees, almost 82 degrees, 42% humidity. So it's warm. I'm not terribly uncomfortable. If I was working in here, I'd be really uncomfortable. But anyway, that's this room that I'm in. We've got, again, the room upstairs has an air conditioning unit, and then downstairs has one. This floor, there's nothing running at all. So it's just whatever air happens to fall down or flow through. We're roughing it, because we're not fickle. We're roughing it. We can handle it. But yeah, when we were kids, we had one room in the house, the living room, and it had like blackout curtains in it, a window unit in the room, and the doors had towels and blankets hanging over them. And you'd come in from outside and you'd walk into this room, and it was like pitch black with the little 14-inch TV going. And it was so nice to just walk into that room, and you just didn't want to leave. But we had to leave. We had to go outside and do something. Dag nabbit. I saw a comment. Thank you, Chris. I told you that Chris is the researcher. That's why I will talk to you, Chris, about chainsaws. Chris is our researcher, and from the interwebs. Average life expectancy in the 16 to 1700s was 56 years. All right, I'm right there right now. Gosh, I'd be dead right now or dying any moment. In the 1800s, 64 years. Then it went down from the 18 to 1900s. Today's only 75. Okay. I guess that's average. So I just seem to see a lot of people living a long time, which is good. I'm hopeful for that. But I don't want to go down that path because, it can be kind of dark. And between you and me, my parents died very young. So I have already I've surpassed my father's life. He was only 45 when he died. And my mom was 59. So I'll be coming up on that in a few years. And if I get past those, I'm like, all right, I win. I got past them. My dad's brother died a few years ago at age 92. So I'm like, oh, hope I got some of that in me. And he was healthy. He was pretty healthy. Anyway, I saw a comment that I wanted to respond to, or at least read it. I wanted to read it and then see if I want to respond to it. Jack, sorry about that. Jack had a viral TikTok. Oh, you have a viral TikTok right now. 500,000 views. All right, I'm gonna share this, Jack, because people are mean. 500,000 views on almost tipping the BX. I remember seeing that. I guess it was from one of your other YouTube videos. Most of the comments are about my weight. Yeah, well, people are cruel. What I do find across the platforms, and maybe Jack, maybe you found this too, and I don't know why. Maybe it's filtering, but the YouTube comments tend to not be as cruel. It doesn't mean they're not. I get some vicious YouTube comments. But overall, I see fewer cruel comments on YouTube. People are much more comfortable being cruel on Facebook. Sorry, Eddie Rollins. I know that you watch primarily on Facebook. Anyway, I don't know why people are so comfortable criticizing, but it seems like they're crueler on Facebook, and TikTok really terrible too. So I don't know why. And the funny thing is, to me, is that on Facebook, you're using your actual name. On YouTube, you can comment under any alias. Nobody knows what you're saying or who you are. But on Facebook, you're using your actual name. And you can click on that name and you can look at the person's profile and you can learn things about them if they happen to share it. But a lot of times they do have some public comments, and you're like, oh, I get, like, I can put this person kind of in a box. I don't like to do that to people, but you get a comment and you're like, oh, this is one of those guys. And you check their profile. Yep, one of those guys. I got you. Anyway, I guess people don't care. I guess they don't care. Anyway, sorry, Jack, that people are cruel. I've had comments about my looks. Nobody has ever said what a handsome guy you are, but they've been like, you need to fix your bottom teeth, man. They're crooked. They are crooked, but that's all right. They're not terrible. But yeah, definitely, people like to be. They like to pick things out. What was the last thing the guy was like? Oh, my mud mixer video on YouTube, which is fantastic as far as views. That has probably 500,000 views almost now. I think it was 400 and some thousand. Really good performing video. I thought it was pretty well done, but I mean the cruelty of people on that video about how I did the concrete job and how I got the fill on my open trailer, and what a moron I was for doing that. And I guess that wasn't good, but I only went like a couple miles and nothing spilled off. Anyway, lots of folks on there making comments, but they honestly don't bother me anymore. And if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, know that you're going to get critical comments. And it probably won't happen right away. It happens with growth, because obviously the more people see your video, the more comments you're going to get. But let it be known that as you grow, you are going to receive critical comments. And the first few do sting. Even though I thought I was ready for it, and now we're 4 years into this, they sting a little bit. Now they don't bother me. I feel like I hear rain. Could it be? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. If you're starting a channel, get ready for the comments. Oh, thank you, Chef Head Ed, about the plumbing tip. Yeah, I was proud of that. I was happy with that. That video, my gosh, cruel comments on that one. Very, but that's all right. Like I said, they really don't bother me anymore. They really don't. I guess what would bother me is if it was somebody I knew. That might make me sad. Even somebody I knew, through, like, we know each other here. A lot of you, I don't know you, you don't know me, but we know each other. We know each other, and I guess would hurt if one of my regular viewers were to make a comment, a negative comment. That would hurt my feelings. All right, I'm just gonna scroll through. Jack has a big announcement. Nice, Jack. Jack, you want to make that announcement on here? You want to come on live and make the announcement? We could do it. I could have you come on. You could be on the side. You could be a split screen. Me and you, Jack. Big announcement from Jack, the Mindful Homestead. Split screen. Look, you could be there. I think it would be this way. I think I would be here and you would be there, Jack. Split screen. Ed and Jack. Big announcement from the Mindful Homestead. All right. Even after you make the announcement, if you want to come on, Jack. Jack was one of our early guests, and has a great channel, by the way. I think you probably all followed. If you don't, head on over to the Mindful Homestead and check it out, because Jack has some great content about real life homesteading. There's a question from David W. Was John affected by the floods? I have not heard from John for a couple weeks. I assume everything is good there. I didn't realize, and it's my own ignorance for really not watching the news outside of my bubble here, that Minnesota was getting so much rain. Mike from Peacefield Farm, that's another YouTube channel. I don't think Mike's real active anymore on YouTube, but he has some good B2601 content. But Mike shared with me that it's just won't stop raining in Minnesota apparently. So, yeah, over a foot of rain. And I had no idea. I said, Mike, send some this way. I'm still trying to see out the window. I don't want to get up and leave you here, but I swear it doesn't look like it. But I'm hearing something. Okay, Jack's giving us a hint. It's tractor related. Well, Jack, you went from the Kubota BX to a TYM, right? I think so. I would consider a different brand tractor. I'm just putting that out to the universe. If anybody's listening from a tractor company, I would like a bigger, more powerful machine. What I would like in today's video, I'm going to talk about this on today's video, not a lot, but today I told you I was out cutting. I cut a tree down, cutting up some firewood, and at one point I was thinking, man, if I could just split this firewood and put it right into an IBC tote, I'd be set. The problem is the B2601 can't lift a full pallet, a full tote of firewood. Can't do it. Even with my modified hydraulics, it cannot do it. So that's kind of a problem, really. It's not a problem. It's just I'm not getting the use that I should be. You know, I that's my point. Yeah. Barbara DeWitt, truly a Jeep. Man, I am a Jeep fan. My first car was a Jeep. My first car that made it to the road. I shared this story before. I had a truck that I worked on for a year when I was 16 years old, and it never even made it to the road. But then I got this Jeep CJ7, and that was my first official car, and I drove that, and I have been a Jeep fan ever since. This Wrangler is my third Jeep type Wrangler. CJ, 1979 CJ7, and then a 1997. Isn't that funny? A 79, then a 97. 97 Wrangler, and that was only 10 years ago, so it was used. And then sold that, and then just recently got this 2000 Wrangler. I also had a 1969 Toyota Land Cruiser, which was essentially a Jeep, but it felt like I was cheating. Like it looked like a Jeep. It was the same size as a Jeep, different grill. It was a neat vehicle, but it wasn't a Jeep. Nobody would wave to you in that. So, yeah, I don't know what it is about Jeeps, why people are fans. I've said, even in my videos, my experience has been that Jeeps are not really good quality vehicles. They're not practical. They get terrible fuel mileage. They really don't hold anything. They're not comfortable. Like, what is it? Why do we like these things? I don't know. They just look cool. And they're fun to drive. They are fun to drive. Why is that? I don't know. They just are. All right. Chris is laughing out loud at something. I don't know what. Maintenance with Mike. Here's a question. See, we're answering questions tonight. How many times have you, I guess you mean pinched your fingers in the PTO drive install? Mike, I got to tell you, I don't think that has been a problem for me. Not that I'm better than you, but I don't think I've pinched my fingers. I've just been extremely frustrated. Extremely frustrated. I think I've pinched myself on the 3-point hitch, connecting those. Well, but Ross pinches his fingers every time. Every time. Maybe I do and don't even remember. I'm gonna next time I hook it up, I'm gonna check and see. It might. Maybe it's so common I don't remember doing it. Hey, Phil from Peterson Farms of Nashville. Went to an antique machinery show this weekend. Got lots of video. That's good. We'll be looking forward to seeing that. Okay, Bob, several times. All right, I'm a moron. I guess I just don't know how many times I pinched my fingers. Right. Oh, Kent is answering my question I had for Chris about the MS261. Is a pro saw. The C is the consumer grade. Basically the same. What's different? What's the difference? Price, I'm sure. But I wonder what they would do. Why would they give it the same number? Why wouldn't they just make like an MS261 would be the consumer saw, and MS261, 262 would be a pro saw or something? I don't know. There we go. These questions are getting answered. I appreciate it. Craig says the MS261C, is the pro saw with M-tronic carburetor. The MS261 is a manual adjustable carburetor. I think I read something about that. So it's not fuel injected, but it's an electronic carburetor. Is that necessary? Because my old Husqvarna, it just runs. It just runs, until it gets till the fuel tarnishes, and then I have to clean it out. But otherwise, I've never made carburetor adjustments on that. I've never used it that much though. But anyway, I wonder. So yeah, thank you, Kent. Yep. Craig reversed what you said. I thought C would be for consumer as well, but he's saying C is the pro saw. And Chris, who just is buying one, the MS261C is also commercial. Yeah, I'm not all step up from the 261. All right. So is it all about the electronic carburetor? Is that what I'm gathering? It'd be nice to have a steel representative come in here and talk to us, wouldn't it? That'd be good. Who's Your Handyman still has a Poland Pro. I had one of those years ago. I think I just didn't use it enough because it just broke, and I ended up giving it away, I think. But they're a good saw too, I think. All right, so let's get through a few more comments because we have to do a sticker giveaway tonight, like we do pretty much every week. Hey, how fun was that having Gord here last week? We never have enough time. We went a little over last week talking to Gord. I think we could talk to Gord for 2 hours. He's just a great guy, great friend of the channel, friend to me, friend to all. But anyway, it was great having him on here, and certainly appreciate him opening up about his daughter, loss of his daughter too. And if you weren't here last week, it was July 11th of last year that they lost their daughter, and he did ask that we, in some form, mark it on your calendar, July 11th, to remember Gord's daughter and Kirsten. And, just on the 11th, lift up a prayer, raise a drink, whatever it is. Just send out some thoughts for Gord and his family. Did I say Ross before? Gord. I don't know what I said now. Gord. All right, I'm looking at some more comments so we can get going because we got to do this sticker giveaway. If you're new to the channel, what we do is we give away these stickers here. I still have some white ones left that I'm probably never going to order again. These are the standard stickers that I did order a bunch more of these, so I have a bunch of these now. I like these. This was just a simple design that I made myself on Photoshop, but I'm really happy with it because it even though, again, we're talking about different platforms, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, primarily we're a YouTube channel. And, this just works. It works. So I like that. And then I still have, where are they? Oh, here's one. When we hit 25,000 subscribers, I designed this special commemorative silver sticker for 25,000 subscribers. Have a few of these left. But get this, we're almost at 50,000. It's not about the numbers, but it's fun. It's a fun number to have. We're like 48.5 now or something like that, or 48.9, or anyway, we're getting there, getting close to 50. 50's fun. I really don't care so much about the subscribers. Like, again, we like to see the numbers grow, but really it's about how many people are watching the videos. That's what we really care about. All right. So we'll have to get back. We'll have to get back to comments after we do the sticker giveaway. Right? Yeah, the balloons. I don't know what that's some kind of interactive thing that happens when I do a thumbs up, somehow it interacts. Yeah, it does a thumbs up. And then balloons. I don't know how we did the balloons. I did something and balloons came up, I don't know what that was. I don't know how that works. Linda's asking a question. This will be for Jack from the Mindful Homestead. Linda is wondering, is anybody raising meat birds? She's talking about chickens, for those of you that don't know. Linda raises some meat birds every year and does her own processing. But Jack, are you still out there from the Mindful Homestead? Because Jack does. I know, Jack, you process pigs, I think, or at least you raise them. I don't know if I ever saw you do a video processing birds, but Jack, answer Linda's question, please. And Linda, go check out the Mindful Homestead. We need to get Jack back on here because he's fun to talk to as well. I'll just have to read these comments later. There's so many comments. Tin Barn needs one of those silver stickers. They're not going to be ever made again. They're a collectible. At least if you collect them, they're a collectible. They will be never ordered again. Maybe when I get 50,000 subscribers, we'll do if they make a gold foil, then we could maybe do that. Who knows? I have to think about that. So let's do this. What we're going to do is, most of you know the drill. I'm going to share a word or a phrase on the screen, and you're going to type it in the live chat exactly the way you see it, and then we'll randomly draw a winner. Now, what you're doing tonight, you're going to win your choice of round stickers or bumper sticker, either one. So that means if you have won the round stickers in the past, you can still request the bumper sticker. If you won the bumper sticker in the past, you can request the round stickers. If you won both, you can choose to not play the game and let somebody else win. Or you can be selfish and play again. Seriously, I don't care what you do. But anyway, most people have won one or the other, so this is a good opportunity for everybody to play the game. So we're gonna put the word on the screen, and the word is #trees, because I was out cutting trees today. There's always a theme to my word. Not always. Sometimes I try that. So #trees, you can do all uppercase, you can do all lowercase, you can do a combination of both. Just make sure there are no spaces and make sure you use the hashtag. I'll give you an example. I'll show you what somebody else is doing. For instance, Jim, #trees. Michael here did all caps, #trees. Doesn't matter. It'll work either way. You only have to enter once. If you enter more than once, your other entries will be thrown away. So no sense in entering more than once. Kay Hoffman, #trees. And yeah, that's all you have to do. But what we'll do is, when this music ends, we'll draw. I haven't quite timed it yet, where I want the winning person to come up right as the music ends, but I haven't been able to do that. All right. You have a 1 in 25 chance of winning. Not bad. Have I mentioned how much I appreciate you being here on Monday nights? I do appreciate it. Well, here we go. And MB. Well, congratulations, MB. I haven't recognized that name in the past. So that's our winner for tonight. I almost got the music to stop right on time, but I think this, the timer for the drawing kind of moves at its own pace. Anyway, congratulations, MB. Here's the way the rest of the giveaway works. You need to send me an email, MB, at this email address, the one you see on the screen right here. If you can't see it, it says contact mcgtv@gmail.com. Contact mcgtv@gmail.com. All one word, all one thing, just like that. Send me an email, MB, with your name and your mailing address, and let me know if you want the round stickers or the bumper sticker. It's very important to let me know which one you want, and then I will mail it to you at my earliest convenience. Congratulations, MB. All right. We did it. That's always fun, isn't it? I think that's my favorite part of the night. Maybe it is for a lot of you as well. But thank you, MB. You got the message. You're on it. So any other final questions before we wrap up another Monday night? And I'll say it again, just like I've said it before. These Monday nights to me feel like a Friday night. So it's kind of cool that we're starting the week off this way. It feels like a celebration to me, and I do hope that you enjoy being here as much as I do. And I always threaten that we're going to stop this for the summer. I seem to never do that, but I'm going to say it again. I know we'll miss a few probably because we've got a lot of things happening in August, events and things like that. Of course, the Bluegrass Festival. I always invite you to the Bluegrass Festival. Labor Day weekend. It's on the East Coast. You got to travel to get there, but it's the Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival, and it's 3 or 4 days long. You can check out the website. You can Google Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival. Fantastic festival. You really to really enjoy it, you want to get the full weekend pass, which I think is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can come and go as you please with your wristband and your sticker on your vehicle. You can if you have a camper or a tent, you can actually stay at the fairgrounds. There's not like bathing facilities or anything. It's not set up as a campground, but you can stay there. You can do it. If you like, what's it called? Boondocking, dry camping. You can stay there for the whole time. You can even come in as early as Wednesday morning, I think. Wednesday morning, you can actually start camping at the fairgrounds days before the festival starts. It's a fun place to hang out. The music is amazing. I'll be there, and I won't be doing anything musically related because I am musically impaired, but I will be there. So if you go to the Delaware Valley Bluegrass, let me do that again. If you go to the Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival, keep your eyes peeled, and we'll run into each other. It's a good time. I met people there from Canada last time. I forget what city they came from, but they drove there from Canada in their little camper, and it was a young couple, and they had a fantastic time. So people come from all over the country, even outside of the country, to this festival. It's good stuff. It's amazing. Enough of that. Point is, a lot of things happening this summer. We got the fairgrounds. Also have the county fair every year, and people go on vacations. A lot of good stuff happening. At any rate, that's what we do. So I do hope you have a good week. I hope that you're all doing well in the heat, and those of you that are out west in the terrible rain, we just can't get it right. Too much rain, not enough rain, too hot, too cold. It's not that we're fickle. Well, maybe nature's fickle, right? That could be. But yeah, there's just a lot going on. Anyway, look for the next video coming out, possibly tomorrow or the next day, which is me cutting down some trees and making some firewood back in the forest where I was today. And again, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. As always, I look forward to seeing you next time.